This is Logan. Stole some of my information here. Talking about Quint 3, Empathetic Citizen, and how the pre-K introduced that into their thematic unit. Like she said, we talked about the different cultures that our classmates were from. She mentioned Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, we had Peru, Sweden, Greece, Italy, Dominican Republic, Liberia, and we created a passport. That was our theme, is that we were going to travel the world, and we were going to talk about all the different countries that our students were from. We ended up having 16 different countries, which was just amazing out of 23 students. We hung a map up on the wall, and we visited each country. Each of the students, like she said, the families came in, presented on different cultures, and it was really quite interesting and quite fantastic to have that many different cultures in one classroom. So that was our theme for the Quint. I'm just going to show you some of the different examples of how we crossed the theme with our content areas. So here are some of the examples of some of the student work that we did, and like she said earlier, we took the student work and put them into their individual passports that we created. So the flag of Ireland, we talked about, the colors and the patterns that we can see in flags, the shapes, because those are topics we talk about in pre-K. Down, you see the spider for science. We talked about Anansi the spider from Jamaica. There's all these stories about Anansi. And so we talked about, where Anansi's environment living, where he lives. We learned about spiders. We read probably 4 or 5 different Anansi books. And we really related that to Jamaica. So we were learning about one of our kids from Jamaica and related that through science. A humanities lesson that we did, speaking to Greece. We did an olive tasting test, made actually a graph, which is relating to math also, and we made olive art. I don't remember who was from Greece. And then language, every different culture we talked about the parents came in, and you can sort of tell from the parents and the family members that came in how they sounded differently, for all the different accents. Talked about different songs that we see in those different cultures. They learned different words and lived different songs, and this is just showing how they talked about writing the different words that they learned about, identifying the letters and stuff in different countries. And this is a thematic unit from Quint 4 for grade 2nd and 3rd, the problem solver. And they did a project on an environmental issue. As you see, they created campaigns, and they learned about public service announcements. They learned how to role play. They learned what a public service announcement actually is. They had to research their issue. They give us some examples here: recycling, littering, planting more trees, pollution, conserving water, pest control. And all the students chose a different topic, and they researched it, and they put on a public service announcement. That was their theme, their project for the Quint. And then I have some student work from that Quint also. I know they're kind of small and you can't really see them, but just showing how they've been problem solvers throughout the Quint. Some of them relating more to the environmental issues than others. Down the bottom, the science one was a science experiment that the students did about why does a groundhog only sometimes see his shadow. So they're learning how to problem solve. They did some research about that. Question and answering, collecting data about all that. This one up on the top here is actually a math assessment, but you notice at the bottom there was included a way for the student to show how he solved the problem. So he's relating the problem solver, the problem solver expectation, through their mathematics. And then the one on this side here, the language and humanities, was a rubric that they had for a project. I was just showing that we expect, even in everything, you know, down to, you know, the projects that our students show, how they incorporate everything, you know, from learning and research-based, you know, researching everything and putting it all together in a project, and the, you know, the teachers expect that they've, you know, gone across all of their information and presented it in a way that has shown that they've learned how to be a problem solver, you know, for instance, in, you know, their thematic plan of, I'm not familiar with the grade, so environmental issues. I think Ms. Weidman's coming up next. Does anyone have any questions about that? How we use the themes across content?